Hello, and welcome to another episode of This is Rico, trying to heal my inner child. Today, I think I want to spend time talking about the stuff that I loved when I was a kid, the stuff that really moved me, the stuff that really made my heart jump. And there was a lot of it. There was a lot. And I understand that me being like that, me getting excited about music and maybe movies or TV shows, I think my parents didn't really quite understand, so they just kind of let it happen, but they weren't real supportive of anything. It was just indifference mostly. But some of the stuff really stuck with me. GI Joe, He-Man. I still have my toys. I still have all the toys that we bought back then. They're worn out and some are broken, kind of like me, but they're still here. I got a bunch of Star Wars stuff still. Star Wars was the seed that started my love for science fiction. We saw Star Wars, the first movie in the theater in '77, and that was it. I was hooked. I was hooked. But I loved the wacky characters like the Sesame Street and Electric Company when they would throw in a lot of the theatrics, and they would throw in a lot of the characters, and then there was also the cartoons, and there was always music, and that always stuck with me. There was shows like Great Space Coaster and Banana Splits and the Monkeys, you know, bands, guys playing music, being fun, having fun and playing music. That made me really learn to appreciate not only the music but the performance art aspect of it as well. Just seeing with the costumes or maybe the outfits, the presentation, all of it, just the whole everything, the aesthetics. That's huge for some. Some people can just listen to music, which is fine. I can do that too. But being an impressionable kid, seeing all these, it was just so much fun for me. Beatles cartoons. I don't know if you've ever seen the Beatles cartoons. If you have not, I recommend it. They are a lot of fun to watch. Um, I loved my toys. We had all my GI Joes. We had all the He-Mans, and gosh, we had a toy box that was just filled with stuff. I think we lost all of that in the flood. But I do remember loving my toys as a toddler. Having the one top that you would spin it, and it was huge. And, oh, it was so much fun. I used to love the toys. And I do remember being small and being protective of like littles. And when I say that, I mean when we'd see a bunch of puppies and I'd always find the smallest one, or kittens, I'd find the smallest one, or there'd be a bunch of humans around and I'd see a baby and I want to go see the baby because they're the smallest one. And I think I was already feeling protective of those that are smaller or maybe a little more vulnerable because I never had anybody protecting me, and I knew what it felt like, so I just kind of wanted to protect them. And it just it's my interpretation, but that's what I think I was thinking back then, even as a little kid. And I always loved the animals. Always loved the animals. I was never afraid to go up to any dog. My dad had a boss, and that boss had a party at his house, and he had these Saint Bernards that were not real friendly, I guess. But there's pictures of me just laying on them and just petting them, and those dogs just let me sit with them because I wasn't afraid. I just went up to them and and I wasn't afraid. I've always just loved animals, cats, dogs. The only ones I don't really care for are like rodents. Mice freak me out a little bit. Grew up in the basement. When we grew up, I had my room in the basement when I got a little older, and there was mice down there once in a while, and we would just kind of had to set the traps. I don't remember how we finally got them to stop coming in, but like it was a daily occurrence to have to set and clean the traps because there was always mice in there. We had a cat that wouldn't catch the mice, but she would play with the dead mouse in the mouse trap. It was crazy. But those were a lot of the things that I really loved: the cartoons, the music, Scooby Doo, stuff like that. Come home from school and watch some music videos, or watch some cartoons, whatever was on. And even recently, when I would go to work, I would just find a YouTube channel with a bunch of 80s cartoons on it and let that play for the whole day. I would listen to music, but I would have the visuals of these cartoons in the background. And kind of helps you get through your workday when you're doing something that's kind of tedious. But Underdog was a huge influence because I could totally identify with being an underdog. I was smaller than all the other kids. I still am. I'm a small person. I'm 5'6". I'm not gonna pretend I'm any taller or bigger than I am. I'm 5'6", and that's it. That's all there is of me. I'm only 5'6", but there's still plenty of me to go around. So being a kid, being smaller, there were kids that wanted to kind of like try and pick on me, but back then it was more friendly bullying, which wasn't bad. It was like kind of like your older brother, just kind of like knocking you around a little bit, but not being malicious. But I did have a lot of good friends. I don't want to say good friends because when I look back, I had friends, but it was just friends at school. I never really talked to anybody when we were out of school. I didn't live close to anybody, so I couldn't just like walk over to a friend's house. I couldn't, there was no sidewalks, a cornfield across the street. It was just spread out. So there was no neighborhood. So I couldn't just, walk down the street and go visit with somebody or find people hanging out at the cul-de-sac or something like that. It wasn't an option. So that being said, yeah, I had friends, but like I said, they were just kind of at school friends. It wasn't until I got older that I really had more, maybe closer friends, but I don't have any lifelong friends. There's nobody that I've met in the first grade or kindergarten that I'm still friends with now. And I'm not talking like all of you that are watching this. I know we've known each other since first grade and stuff, but we weren't like close friends. We were just distant friends. We hung out a lot when we did, and then we all go and live our lives, which is okay. I have nothing against that. Everyone's got their lives, everyone has their things, and that's life. But there's nobody that I'm like that I talk to every day or every other day, or nobody I correspond with all the time, all the time. I have a small group of friends. Now, I want to say this, and you guys know who you are. Um, when I was at the edge and I was pretty much just gonna let myself go over that edge because I was ready, I had these friends reach out to me and they started this group. They started this group chat. And some really good friends from elementary school, from way, way back. Um, Top notch people. Without them, I don't know if I would still be here. Honestly, if it wasn't for that, I don't know if I'd still be here. So I want to thank all of you. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, or is it the heart of my bottom? It's one of those two. I want to say thank you. Something in that group, something in your kind words inspired me to keep going. Something gave me hope. Something in your words, something is keeping me going. And I haven't felt hope in a long time. And quite honestly, I was at the lowest that I've ever been. And it weren't for you. If it was not for you all, then I wouldn't still be here. So thank you, and I love you. I won't say that a lot, but I do. And so, in keeping on with the things that I love, my friends, there's people, and we had good times. My brothers, I don't talk to them anymore because it is what it is. But we had some really good times when we were young. There was a lot of drugs and alcohol involved, but it was life. But it's tough when you're close to somebody like that, your sibling, and you spend lots of time together, and then you don't. I just can't call up my brother and say, "Hey, what's up?" like I used to. I can't do that anymore. And part of me just I don't want to, and that's okay. Life goes on. You have to keep moving. But I have my friends. I have people that understand. I have people who support me. I didn't think I did, but I do. And it's a lot better when we're all here to support each other. That's it. We're all here to support each other. We're not here to tear each other down. I keep seeing that way too much. I have to stay away from social media sometimes because people can just get really rude sometimes. And it's hard to see that. It's hard to understand how anyone can even think that way. I just want us all to get along. I want us all to just help each other, accept each other for who we are. We don't need to conform. We don't need to fit a mold. We don't, because when you try to fit a mold, you just break. And I personally am tired of trying to fit other people's molds. Instead of doing what I can do, now I want to do what I want to do. And this is one of those things that I want to do. I love this. I love just talking. I love this getting out. And yeah, we're at 13 minutes. I think I'm going to stop now so I can finish this one. And I'm going to do another one today too, because I'm on a roll. But I don't want to risk this video. So I'm going to close it out. I'm going to say thank you again. I love you all. I thank you for your support. I thank you for your help. I thank you for your life support. I thank you for being who you are. Authenticity is what we're looking for, is what we want. I don't want anyone to be anything they're not. And I don't want to be something I'm not. And I'm not going to do that anymore. This is me. And I'm going to show everyone who I am through this, in this series of videos that I call This is Rico, trying to heal my inner child. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon.